Hi there, my name is Angelina Coughlin. I teach in applied art design. I'm also the secretary of SCFA. We wanted to collect different experiences of faculty members and staff as we begin to transition back on ground. The interview you're about to watch is one of those experiences. It is important to note everyone will have a different experience transitioning on ground. The objective of this video series is to capture different experiences and share them. The hope is through these shared experiences, we can learn from each other and support one another. Let's jump in.
Hey,
Hello. Where am
you're
I?
like, I need to
There I
fix
am.
my
Oh, wait, hold on.
computer. I know. I'm like,
I showered.
hey,
So something's going well today. Just that one thing. All right, you ready to get started?
I'm ready. My name is Kara Perry, and I'm a counselor here at Sierra. Specifically, I'm the trio counselor.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having this conversation with us today.
For sure.
Can you describe your experience transitioning back on ground as a counselor?
I transitioned. First, I started at 2 days a week, and then I moved to 3 days a week, being on campus last October. I think, at first, of course, I was concerned about my safety and the safety of my colleagues and, really the safety of my kids and my extended family. I live next door to my parents, so I was very concerned about that also. I think my main concern really was that students wouldn't wear their masks properly or that they would just try to get out of wearing their mask. I haven't experienced that. My experience after return overall has been really pretty good. We have the app, we have the daily health screening, we have on-site rapid testing, the mask mandate. In our offices, some counselors have chosen to have plexiglass screens, which we have available to us, air filters, and honestly, as far as student traffic is concerned, it's not even close at this point to what it once was. It's still pretty slow, so I think that helps mitigate risk also. So my experience has been pretty good.
And can you describe the safety precautions? You've already described some of them, but
Yeah.
what about when you specifically meet one-on-one with a student? What are some of the safety protocols you have in place?
Okay, so I have only met with one student since October, and currently we're remote because of Omicron, but even prior to that, students were still really choosing online appointments for their counseling appointments. The protocol was that she needed to fill out the daily health screening on the app, and then she scanned the QR code right outside of my office door. I checked that she had the green check. She wore her mask appropriately, as did I. Overall, I think it went really well, other than I was a little bit flustered about meeting with a student for the first time in 20 months. I felt like I just didn't know how to do the in-person counseling thing. But she was really kind to me about it, and I think it worked out really well. So those were the protocols that we followed.
Have you seen anyone visibly ill?
I have not seen anyone visibly ill. We've talked through in our office, amongst the counselors and the classified, what it is that we should do if we encounter a student that's visibly ill. And we've talked about if they've already made it into a counselor's office, that at that point the counselor would let the student know that they would need to reschedule. If the student had an emergency situation or something that just really couldn't wait for another time, then it would be moved to either a phone or an online appointment. We did that actually prior to the pandemic. We would do that with students because we are in close proximity with students. So this is just really continuing that practice, but we haven't experienced it yet.
What made you feel safe while being on ground?
So I think that we do have a number of really good protocols in place, and for example, I've mentioned the masks, the daily screening, the app, the on-site rapid PCR testing, providing the KN95 or the N95 masks to all employees, providing cleaning supplies to office spaces. The transparency of the dashboard really helped for me, just knowing that our campus is being transparent about COVID cases on campus as well as community transmission. That helped me feel more safe on campus. And so, yeah, I think all of that combined has helped me feel like we're doing what we can to mitigate the risk of exposure and also transmission.
Was there anything that made you feel unsafe?
Funny enough, I was concerned about students not wearing masks. And I know that there have been other places on campus where that has been experienced, but I have not seen that. I have seen students being actually very responsible in their mask wearing. I did have a colleague who was just straight up not wearing a mask at all. And I was a little bit shocked when I first saw it, because I just I think it was just a bad assumption, but I assumed it would be a student. At any rate, I went to, the AEA of the area, and it was addressed immediately and fixed. So that was something that I I wasn't prepared to have to deal with. And in that moment, I kind of didn't know, should I approach or should I? And I did decide to go to the AEA on that. But yeah, that was the only time that I felt like, oh, okay, someone's not really taking their responsibility to mitigate risk for others seriously.
Is there anything else that faculty, staff should be aware of as they transition back on ground?
There haven't been too many of us on ground yet. And I think as more and more faculty return to campus, there are just going to be things that we just did not anticipate. There's going to be needs that pop up or concerns that pop up, protocol concerns that pop up that we haven't anticipated yet. And so I think that's inevitable. And I would say just communicate. When you see those things or you feel that there's a need or you have a concern, I would say communicate with your AEA, communicate with SCFA, and let us know how we can help.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Have a wonderful semester, everybody.